right, a very good morning and many thanks for joining us at this time. Welcome to Eagles Morning Rise breakfast show right here on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. Of course, your radio experience you can count on this beautiful Thursday, which of course is the 7th day in the month of November 2024. I trust that you all slept and woke up well this morning. Well, Thursdays they say are for throwbacks, and we really don't have much, to throw back to today. Well, just to give you a heads up, so you know as well that Jaja Wachuku, a Nigerian lawyer and the first foreign affairs minister, died in the University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital on this day in 1996. And also talking about somewhat of a veteran, broadcaster, journalist, if you like, the person of Reuben Abati, newspaper columnist and journalist, was born on this day in Abeokuta, Ogun State, in 1965, as a matter of fact. So it's safe to say happy birthday to him today. All right, and across the nation, the nation has been thrown into mourning, talking about the demise or death of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Abiodun Lagbaja. And indeed, the president has ordered flags to be flown at half-mast nationwide for 7 days. Indeed, it is a great loss. One will begin to wonder, what exactly is life, all about, without you being good and also leaving a legacy behind. One would say that he's been able to leave a legacy, behind, and such that we have to reflect on these legacies and also remember him, this time every year. Well, it's also said to say that he fought a good fight and he's probably finished, the race. Well, may he so rest in peace. And well, I definitely will bring you up to speed, on 10 things you need to know for today. Somehow the mood is a little bit, down, and this is not far-fetched, from, the development with which we find ourselves in the country. But hopefully I get a snap out of this in a bit. Well, as always, the early morning crusade right here would be to encourage you to do the needful as you go about, the day's business or activities. Yes, do the needful. This story about an operative, right, of LASMA who was badly injured in Lagos State. It just, goes to tell you how much more of a role that we need to play as Nigerians without necessarily, depending on the government solely to bring about the change that we are clamoring or yearning for. Because how do you explain the fact that almost every day, across media, platforms, we get to, encourage you, to sensitize you, to enlighten you on the need to do the right thing. But then we have some Nigerians who are hell-bent on, just messing things up. And it makes no sense. You can imagine the fact that a commercial driver, right, who is currently on the run, I don't know if he's been, arrested. He caused bodily injuries to an officer of the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority in the Mile 2 area of the state on Tuesday. And according to reports, the operative, the LASMA operatives had accosted the driver for violating traffic regulations, but he resisted arrest. He noted that in an attempt to evade arrest, the driver sprayed his vehicle, and some of the officers who had taken over the vehicle with petrol and set the bus on fire and fled the scene. Listen, for every officer you see on the road, you must understand that these people, they were first humans before they became, officers. And the fact that they actually are on the road, serving our dear country, Nigeria, does not mean that they should be taken for granted. I think every well-meaning citizen should do the right thing at all times, even when no one is watching. On here, we actually encourage you to say no to overspeeding, say no to one-way driving, and stop violating traffic regulations, because you are not the only road user. And then a situation whereby you violate these traffic regulations and the officers on the road, they're trying to flag you down, probably to rebuke you for wrongdoing, and you're trying to evade, arrest or, this warning or rebuke, from the officers. You not do the unthinkable. It makes no sense. Sometimes you even see these officers chasing after these violators. It makes no sense, because Over time, we'll get to, make reference to, developed countries, how beautiful the United States of America is, and what have you. Why can't we make Nigeria great? Why can't we make Nigeria, beautiful? Why can't we even make Nigeria get to that point where foreigners would also look at us and say that Nigeria is a go-to country? Why can't we do all of these things? It's not enough to apportion blames, on the government, be it at the federal, at the state, or the local government levels, because we have a lot to do as citizens. So here I am this morning, again, encouraging you, road users, motorists, to do the right thing, do the needful, all right? Even when there are no officers on the road, stop violating traffic regulations, avoid overspeeding, say no to one-way driving. And those of you that are fond of driving and making calls at the same time, and even all these commercial transporters, Bolt and what have you, it's okay for you to set your location before you hit the road, because it is absolutely risky that you're driving and you're still trying to figure out the location, that you're actually going to. It makes no sense. Do not put the lives of every other person using the road at that point in time on the line. We need you to be out there and alive, because if you're not out there, we won't be here. So it is very, very important. And to those of us that are fond of defecating openly, let us say no to that with immediate effect. Yes, say no to open defecation. Those of you that are also fond of urinating indiscriminately, say no to it. There are public toilets across the city and across Nigeria. There are public toilets. I think at the end of the day, you just have to pay a little, a token, maybe 100 naira or even 150. And if you have to pay that, it's even fair, because there are people there cleaning up, this toilets or restrooms, if you like. So just let's do the right thing. It is very, very important. And most importantly, take 2 minutes or 3 of your time. Talk to someone, a fellow citizen you see on the road, whether the person of same tribe or religion with you. Take our time, to preach to the person, help the person get sense of the fact or why we need to stay united and why we need to, stay as one, as citizens and also as Nigerians. It is very, very important. On that note, let me quickly introduce myself as Omoife Piso-Semere, and I will be riding solo today on the breakfast show. And just to give you a heads up as well on what to expect from us from now till 10 a.m. Well, at this hour, we'll get to take a look at the front pages. Of course, so much is going on at the moment with a lot to take in. And at 8 o'clock, Vicky Vic will be right here to bring you up to speed with the latest happenings in the world of sport. And of course, at 9 a.m., it will be time for Eagles Outlook. And the topic of discussion this morning on Eagles Outlook is one that is probably trending at the moment, talking about, the outcome of U.S. elections. Of course, there are perhaps lessons that we can learn right here in Nigeria. And also, one would also, want to think about what the victory of Donald Trump would portend for the globe, talking about warring nations. What role do you think is going to play in terms of harmonizing thought and bringing an end to all of this crisis, across the globe? All of these are the conversations that we're going to be talking about or having at the 9 o'clock hour this morning on Eagles Outlook. Well, all of this will be accompanied with the very best of music. I mean, that's what makes, Eagles Morning Rise the very best and your morning booster. Good morning to you once again, and thank God it's Thursday. I almost said Wednesday, but no, it is Thursday. So real quick, let me bring you up to speed on 10 things you need to know for today. Even before Democratic candidate Kamala Harris conceded defeat, world leaders, including President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, congratulated the U.S. President-elect Donald Trump on Wednesday. Now, Trump gained an unassailable lead with 266 electoral college votes, 4 short of the 270 threshold before congratulatory messages started pouring in. It was more like a number of observers, like a handful of observers actually knew, because taking a look at the post across socials, it's more like a number of people had actually, they were really optimistic that Trump, would actually win the election. But at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation. Whether or not Kamala Harris won the election, she is still a winner, right? And then the number 2 thing you need to know for today would be that the death on Tuesday of Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tarid Abiodun Lagbaja, has thrown the nation into mourning. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu ordered flags to be flown at half-mast nationwide for 7 days. Now, bandits on Wednesday abducted over 50 persons at Wanke and Gurusu villages of Gusau and Gumi local government areas of Zamfara state. Locals said the victims were abducted in Wanke and environs while working on their farms, and 3 others along the Anka-Gurusu road in Anka local government area of the state. At number 4, following a 48-hour ultimatum issued by the Nigerian Medical Association NMA Kano State branch in response to the alleged assault on a female doctor at the emergency pediatric unit of Murtala Mohammed Specialist Hospital, the association has announced withdrawal of services from the hospital. At number 5, the wealth of billionaire Tesla and ex-owner Elon Musk has soared by about $13 billion hours after his ally Donald Trump won the United States presidential election. Well, early Wednesday, investors said Trump's win will also be a win for Musk's a major public holding, Tesla, sending shares of his electric vehicle maker up 13% at the market open, as CNN reports. Suspected gunmen have allegedly killed 10 persons in Wayam community of Sabongari district in Rafi local government area of Niger State. It was learned that the incident occurred on Tuesday in the early hours of the morning. Well, also, you might want to know that gunmen have abducted Reverend Father Emmanuel Azubike, the parish priest of St. Theresa's Catholic Church, parish rather, in Obolo community, Isialambano local government area of Imo State. It was gathered on Wednesday that the victim was abducted on Tuesday night along the Ayayi community when he was returning from an assignment, according to church authorities. The Federal Capital Territory Police Command has killed 2 armed robbers during a gun duel and arrested 4 in the Jahi area of the nation's capital. Also, no fewer than 5 car snatchers were arrested and 13 stolen vehicles recovered during the operations conducted by the Scorpion Squad of the FCT Command. I think we need to ring the bell to that. A step in the right direction. At number 9, combined security operatives have reportedly neutralized 4 gunmen suspected to be members of the indigenous people of Biafra and its armed militia, the Eastern Security Network. The operation took place in the early hours of Wednesday at Eha Alomona in Unsuka local government area. And the 10th thing you need to know for today would be that the Zone 16 Police Command on Wednesday disclosed that it detained officers who were involved in the extortion of 10 million naira. A statement by the Zone 16 Police Public Relations Officer SP Emonena Gun in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital, hinted that the said officers have been in detention since October 30. Well, that's it for the 10 things you need to know for today, being Thursday, the 7th day in the month of November 2024. That being said, let's quickly take a look at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. Let us start off with the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. On the front page, the big news story just below, the Nigerian Tribune logo. It says, Tinubu directs flags to fly at half-mast as Lagbaja dies at 56. Now, 2 riders underneath that one. The first one says, Council's fake meeting. Kinsmen suspend community activities. The second rider says, Buhari governor's National Assembly leadership. Others mourn. Details on page 3. And then oil marketers tackle Dangote in court. Say no to planned monopoly in energy sector. Details on page 16. NYC members call for implementation of 77,000 naira allowance. You get details of our story this morning on page 24 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Obasanjo, Jonathan, others, Lord Obasaki's achievements. Details on page 5. And then court bars CBN, others from withholding Kano local government funds. You get details on page 3. And then Tinubu, world leaders congratulate Trump as he emerges for the 7th U.S. president. A writer underneath it says, why Americans dumped Harris. Details on page 4. Reps move to compel president to give account of stewardship before laying budget. Details on page 24. And then when you head on to page 14, it says expert expresses concern on rise in head and neck cancers related to HPV. Details on page 14. And just above the Nigerian Tribune logo, nothing in tax bills threatens your existence. FIRS chairman assures Naseni, NITDA, and TED Fund. You find that on page 7. And the last one here says minimum wage as the kicker. Marking day to pay all your workers 80,000 naira. Consolidates NBS ratings. Details on page 4. I'll leave it there real quick for the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Now let's take a look at the Vanguard newspaper. Well, the Vanguard newspaper is leading quite differently from the Nigerian Tribune. It says US poll, be president to all. Kamala charges Trump. Well, that's the spirit of sportsmanship, one would say. And then right underneath it says, as Tinubu, Biden, world leaders, others hail him. Details on page 15 of the Vanguard newspaper. And then for second time in 4 months, Discos raised meter prices by 28.3%. You find that on page 9. Tinubu, Akpabio, governors, Obi mourn as Chief of Army Staff. Lagbaja dies at 56. Details on page 7. Don't allow Dangote take over energy sector. Oil marketers tell court. Details on page 5. And then when you take a look at pages 6 and 11, this one here says gunmen abduct over 100 peasants in Zamfara. Catholic priest in Imo. All right, moving on now. And bad governance, that is the kicker. Go after real culprits, not minors. Emir Sanusi talking there. And you find that one on page 30. Moving on to page 32. Court stops AGF, CBN, RMAFC, that's the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission, others from withholding Kano local government allocations. And then this one here says Zenith Bank reassures customers following successful IT upgrade. Well, that's on page 19. And Nigeria to make investment decisions on 5 projects worth $50 billion. This statement is credited to the federal government, and you'll find that on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. You have a sports story right here on the front page. It says Morocco 2025. Ekong, Lukman, Osimhen, Simon, 19 others gear up for Benin and Rwanda. You find that on page 36 of the Vanguard newspaper. But not to worry, you can trust Vicky Vic to bring you up to speed on the latest in the world of sport, this inclusive, right at the 8 o'clock hour. I'll leave it there this morning for the Vanguard newspaper. The Guardian is up next on the front page. U.S. decides low expectations. Optimism heralds Trump's second coming. You find that on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. And then federal government calls for peace over Abia Akwa Ibom border dispute. Details on page 7. Oyo okays 80,000 naira minimum wage for workers. You find that on page 30. And then Obasanjo, Jonathan Tambuwal, others, Lord Obaseki's 8 years in office. Details on page 7. Naira remains volatile despite current account surplus and rising forex inflows. You find that on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. Floods sack Rivers, Anambra communities. Details on page 4. And then federal government blames frequent grid collapse on Disco's inability to offtake electricity. Details on page 3. Well, it appears that this is somewhat of a contradictory statement, to the reason why there have been grid collapses in recent times in the country. At some point, we're made to understand that it was as a result of vandalism, but now it seems to be the fault of Disco's inability to offtake electricity. But that's on page 3 this morning of the Guardian newspaper. And then Tinubu honors ex-Chief of Army Staff as Obi, Atiku, governors, and NPCL mourn. Details on page 3. Well, I think that's just going to be about it for the Guardian newspaper this morning. Grab a copy to get concrete details of the reviewed headlines and, of course, more stories right there. The Daily Trust newspaper is up next. Well, on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper, it says bandits abduct over 50 people in Zamfara. Three riders underneath it. The first one says, place 150 million naira levy on residents. And then the second one says, kill 10 farmers in Niger. We are working hard to tackle problem. Details on page 3 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Tinubu, world leaders congratulate Trump on election victory. Details on page 31. And then 22 miners feared dead as pit collapses in Adamawa. You find that one on page 12 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Tax reform, that is the kicker. President should unite, not divide Nigeria. This statement is credited to the Bauchi State Governor. And then that's on page 5. This one here says Kano begins registration of foreigners. You find that on page 6. And then discuss high prices of meters. Details on page 23. And bad governance protest. Borno minors still in custody. Defense lawyer talking there. And you find that on page 6. And the last one here says, Lagbaja's death, top generals for redeployment. Tinubu, Akpabio, governors mourn. And then FEC meeting postponed indefinitely. National flag to fly at half-mast for 7 days. All of that on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. I think that's just going to be about the size of headlines I will be taking across the national dailies this morning. So at this juncture, the studio lines are opened for you to call in to share your 2 cents on these headlines. And as always, we urge you to stay civil, avoid the use of vulgar or obscene language, and maintain at least 2 minutes or less so we can accommodate diverse views. Do not also forget to turn down the volume of your radio set so we can hear ourselves clearly. The numbers to call are 090-7353-0044 or 090-8766-8888. Send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 090-9705-4450. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Ego FM.
Yes, good morning to you. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Yes. My name is I'm calling from.
I didn't get your name. I didn't get your name, please. I didn't get your name.
Yes, I congratulate.
I didn't get your name, sir. Please come again with your name.
I'm calling from Wuselite now.
All right, please go ahead.
I congratulate Trump. Yes, that's where democracy works. Yes, that's where democracy works. I can see congratulate. So that democracy, not where number 4 we turn to number 1, and look at insecurity and hunger everywhere because of we have leaders who those that don't care about their look at where insecurity. How many people care in Zafar and also that's where that shows that they don't know what they are doing. Another thing is Mr. Tinubu congratulated Trump. They're not supposed to do that. Last year election, he got number 4, and he's number 1, and he congratulated.
Desire, let's not make a storm in a teacup. Please be objective and constructive with your criticisms. Tinubu is not the only leader that has congratulated Trump, by the way.
It's a failure to congratulate.
I have to let you go now. Thank you so much for calling regardless. And next time, do well not to blow things out of proportion. Thank you very much. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, MIC.
Yes, good morning.
My name is Abdul, calling from Suleja, Niger State.
All right, please.
I want to use this forum to my condolence to the Chief of Army Staff and the family to bear the loss. That's how God wants it to be. In fact, when the president was decorating the acting Chief of Army Staff to Lieutenant General, I know something is happening. I know Nigeria will not come back again. But that's how God wants it to be. May so rest in peace. The armed robbers in FCT, I'm very happy that the police are really doing their work. In fact, I'm very happy that the police are dealing with them seriously. I don't want to be hearing that armed robber kill police, kill soldier or somewhere, or kidnappers. So good is to them. I still want to talk on Dangote, this issue of Dangote fuel. I always say it all the time. I'm one of the people that used to pray that Dangote refinery should start working. Now it's working. I can even see that the imported fuel is cheaper than Dangote fuel. Why must it be like that in this our country? You see, and if fuel is not down, everything in the market will be cost. You see, so everything. May God help us if we are suffering.
All right.
God help Nigeria and Igbo FM.
Thank you
very much.
Thank you very much.
UD?
UD is fine. He'll be here by 10 a.m. this morning. Thank you so much for calling. All right. Hello, good morning to you.
Princess.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. God bless your heart.
Thank you so much. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Obasanjo, calling you from Amali, Niger State.
All right, good to have you, Obasanjo. Please go ahead.
Thank you. I've been battling with the insecurity day in, day out on the announcement of Duke. Away from that, first, our Chief of Army Staff, sir, where you are, may your soul rest in peace. We love you. We love the agility. We love the work that you have been done. You left a good legacy, and we miss you. But console with your family, Nigerian as a whole. But the federal government was to lie about the whole issue. I don't just know. Nigerians keep asking, which the defense headquarters, we are saying who bring out information last 2 weeks ago about the rumor of death of our Chief of Army Staff. They said they will arrest that person. Now, what have we seen? What have we seen? By the acting of staff and the complete Lieutenant General, we will all know that, okay, something missing. This is how the federal government-led administrations have been lying to Nigerians.
Hold on a minute. Of course, I mean, I agree with you because we actually saw that on the front pages of, Nigerian newspapers, I think 2 weeks ago, where there were speculations that Taoreed Lagbaja had passed on at the time, but it was dismissed. And here we are. And according to report, he passed away on Tuesday night. So where is the lie? So indeed, he may have been sick, but, the public wasn't really, carried along in that regards. But he has passed away. So what difference does that make now?
Ma, if you are not led by the Spirit, at times, those that you see talking, telling you some people dream up, some people see visions, a lot of things. That all this, okay, today he has passed out. We don't even know whether it's yesterday that he has passed out. The announcement came out on board around 10 o'clock in the morning that the news was rampage on the media. So we all saw it. We were about it that yesterday. That where is Lagbaja? If the federal government not keep lying on Nigerians, they were lying on Nigerians since the acting Chief of Army Staff came on board, and the conclusion give him promote him to a rank of Lieutenant General. We will all know that something missing. Ma,
could you please wrap up your thoughts?
What lie? APC are to Nigeria.
Obasanjo, thank you so much for calling. We really do appreciate your contribution, right, on the pages this morning. We're due for a commercial break. We'll just go pay these bills and I'll be back in a moment. But best believe the studio lines will still be open for you to call in to share your thoughts. Do join us again.
3 Abuja.
Wow, this feature phone is so good.
Which phone is that?
It is the itel IT5627. It comes with a 2500 mAh battery, which gives you 55 hours of standby use. Type-C charger, triple SIM slot, 3.0-inch screen, plus the 24 months warranty of worry-free use.
Huh? 24 months warranty?
Yes, go and get yours. itel IT5627. New itel, new experience.
Get the desired clients for your business and service and get your phones buzzing. From the 1st of September to 31st of December, you can advertise and reach a large audience with the Eagles FM Ember Months package. Advertise on any of our platforms and get a whopping 30% discount. That's right, 30% discount. For more information, please call 080 59198658 08059198658 or 08157917278 08157917278. The Eagles FM 102.3 FM Ember Package is a sure way to getting a wider clientele for your business and service.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable.
Eagles 102.3.
And we are back. Thank you so much for staying with us. If you are just joining us, this is Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. And of course, your morning booster, Eagles Morning Rise. This segment specifically is the pages where we get to review the blazing headlines for today and also get your reactions or contributions to these headlines. The studio lines are still open. You can link to be part of this segment by calling 090-7353-0044 or 090-8766-8888. You can also send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 090-9705-4450. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Omoisi. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Good morning. Thanks for calling.
Yes. My name is GB, calling from Life Camp.
GB, good to have you. All right, please go ahead.
On Lagbaja, I want to criticize the government. Let us criticize constructively.
Right.
Somebody can be in ICU, unconscious, sometimes even for 30 days. You can't pronounce him dead. And if you are the brother or wife or children of that man who is unconscious in the ICU, and say, okay, because he's unconscious, you go out, how will you feel? Not like passed on Tuesday evening, and the news came out yesterday morning. Confirmed he's a Muslim. He will bury he will bury today. He wouldn't have died about 2 weeks ago, and they will keep him somewhere as a Muslim.
Exactly.
For what reason? So why the government is telling lies? I know people who are unconscious in ICU for 30 days, and they still survive. They still survive. Then on the issue of Dangote and the rest of it, it's high time the government know that this fuel, the people know that the fuel have been deregulated. Dangote should be ready to face the competition in the market, and people should be allowed to import the fuel. The regulator is the medium and downstream that regulates. It's not Dangote. Dangote as a player in the market cannot be condemning other people say they bring dirty fuel. He's not in his position to do that. He should leave that work to the regulator to determine. The market has been regulated. If they find a cheaper somewhere, Nigeria wants a cheaper price. They want to buy cheap something. But good quality. That is the emphasis. They're not the company to say, no, what they are bringing is dirty, is bad for it. It's not him to determine that. It's the regulator that will determine that. Then on the issue of Trump misfeeling about it something. So, yes, misfeeling because they felt that they don't like Africa. I'm telling you that Trump was the one that made it possible for us to buy Tucano jets that were able to defeat the Boko Haram in the northeast. I'm a black man like us denied Jonathan or buying those jets in his own time. But when Trump came in, Trump was able to approve to get the Congress convinced that they should allow Nigeria to buy that jet, and that would be the magic. If not for that, but Boko Haram will see the everywhere the nation now. So Trump, to me, is a misfeeling. Whatever it is, I believe that the man knows what he's doing, and the Americans are doing the right thing they want to choose. Let's just pray that things goes well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, GB, for calling. And well, absolutely. It's just like you have a case of an accident, for example, and then you see that people are badly or seriously injured. Some of them can't even move their bodies, or maybe some of them even fainted. You cannot declare them dead, especially when you're not a doctor. You can only report that, oh, a certain number of people are feared dead, not confirmed dead. So I think we need to understand all of these things and be very constructive while criticizing going forward. Hello, good morning to you. Good morning to you, Mr. Bright. How are you doing today?
I'm fine.
All right. Where are you calling from today?
I'm calling for a doctor.
All right, please go ahead.
Yes,
Yes.
See, you see, any service you are rendering in this world, in any little place you are, you should know that tomorrow there is a wider space where people, when they see you, they will say, this man or this woman, when I was in contact with him before, he rendered a very good service. When you are given a post, handle it very well so that people will say, you know, there are some people who are hypocrites. When everything you do, they will tell you you are doing a very good job, but they actually know that it is not true. Look, let me tell you, do you know why people are saying that the federal government is lying? It is not today. It has been a long time that they have been dishing out news for us. Okay, look at in the case of now, some of them are praising Trump, that Trump now is a president. Why did Obama not send Tucano jet to Nigeria? Is it not the same APC people that we are writing fictitious statements against the government of Jonathan, that Jonathan want to use it to bomb the station of the people? That
you know,
is that.
The belief that the presence of Trump as president at the time also enhanced some sort of seamless purchase of Tucano jets. According to data sources, there is no direct evidence or information that suggests Trump aided the purchase of Tucano jets in Nigeria. The sale of A-29 Super Tucano planes to Nigeria was approved by the United States government to aid combat actions against criminal elements in the country, and it has nothing really to do with the presence of Donald Trump as a president.
I know what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, before Jonathan wanted to buy the aircraft, who are the people? It's not the same APC people that we are writing petitions.
Right. Let me ask you this question.
Okay.
Because you're beginning to sound like you belong to PDP or another political party. Do you really think there's any difference between these political parties? Whether APC, PDP, Labour Party, NPP, and what have you?
There is no.
What difference? Because we still have same people, leaving one party to the other, especially when it does not favor.
We have the same party and not the same policy. At least when PDP we are leaving, I know that I can feel comfortable 3 times. But now, for people to see it, it's very, very bad. And the worst of it is that they are feeding us with lies every day. Where is the 40,000 naira rice? They are telling us. Where is the CNG buses? They are telling us. So where is the light? They tell us that any government that is not this thing is not a serious government, that they will resign. Okay, look at now. How can you tell me that somebody is congratulating a president? Now there is no glitch, there is no device malfunctioning. Ballot papers have been, and there is no national announcement of election. They did everything, everybody saw everything clearly, and it was announced under 24 hours. It doesn't show you that there is something wrong with our system. Now, how can you tell me that some people who we handed over the rulership of this country with our resources are telling us now to pray?
Right. You know what? Prayer is actually key, whether you like it or not. I would like you to save this your energy for the 9 o'clock hour, because the emergence of Donald Trump, and the lessons that Nigeria can actually learn from the U.S. elections is going to be the focus. So just save this your energy for 9 o'clock. So you can call in and share your thought. Bright, let's leave it here so we can accommodate other views. Thank you so much.
Can't learn anything.
Oh, thank you so much for calling, Bright. Oh God. Sometimes you don't want to be sarcastic, but when you get viewpoints like this, you're left with no option but to laugh out so loud and sometimes make facial expressions that suggest something sarcastic. But the numbers are still 090-7353-0044 or 090-8766-8888. Do not forget to send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal on 090-9705-4450. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Royal Highness Almighty.
Good morning to you, sir. Nigeria. Yes. What's your name and where you're calling from?
I'm calling right Cool.
All right, UND. Where are you calling from? I didn't get your location.
I'm in Ashoka, right, just opposite the Abacha Barrack.
All right, please go ahead.
Yes, I just want to use this opportunity to, join my condolence to the family of Zero Jirabaja. May so rest in peace.
Amen.
And may God grant his family the heart to, console this pain, because it's not easy. My sister, we lost a hero in Nigeria right now. So we just have to give thanks to God, because only God that brings and God collected. It's not really easy to have to take it with utmost good faith. Thank you. Honestly,
yes.
I just want to use this opportunity again to, appeal to our our president called Bola Tinubu, because he's a father and he has a listening here because of some things we see now these days. For example, the release of those minors that we pardoned them as of treason. Is a very good outcome. Is listening. I want to let you know that, please, in appointing positions, all of us we know, and they too. Appointing ministers, you need to follow the federal character. Even the federal and state follow. They used to there is how you do things that the six geopolitical zones we come together and things will move smoothly. Let me just leave that at its way as advice, though.
All right, UND. Thank you so much for calling.
Thank you, honestly. Have a nice day.
You too. All right. Hello. Good morning to you. All right. We've actually missed that one. Please do want to call back. Let's hear from you. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, How are you?
Very well. Thank you. What's your name and where you're calling from?
My name is Matthew, calling from Kubo.
All right, Matthew. Please go ahead.
Yeah, we lost a great gallant soldier. We have done great for this country, unity and peace. He did his best. But nature decided and God decided, and any man will go. It's unfortunate that we lost him. Nagbaja is a very good guy. He did his best. I just want to thank you for moderating this airwave. They're doing a great job, because misinformation is what is destroying this country. Somebody can be unconscious for 2 months. You cannot pronounce in death.
Right.
So let us always use correct information. There are other crime that is going on in America, but they don't blow it out of proportion. Anybody who's celebrating that Nigeria is always killing, should ask himself, what have you done to stop the killing on your own? Or are you just blowing the whistle every day? Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Matthew, for your line of thought. Okay, we have some of the messages, or some messages already on the WhatsApp portal. Let's see if we can take some of them before, reverting to the voice calls. Good morning, Lady Omoife. Thank God it's a Thursday. After so much lies and circulation to the detriment of the nation, it has now been confirmed that Discourse is behind the incessant and embarrassing national grid collapse. Now that the culprit has been unveiled, what next? Is it going to be business as usual, or something needful will be done? We are watching. In addition, the passing on to glory of the former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, is a great loss to the nation and a very painful experience to his family. But it serves as a lesson, especially to those of us who found themselves in the corridors of power, to know that our lives are not in our hands. Anything can happen to anyone at any time. So treat humanity with respect. Live and let live. Let's live, rather. May God Almighty save us from ourselves. Comrade Ulobasi from Buhari, Abuja. Well, Comrade Ulobasi, don't forget in a hurry that just a few weeks ago we were made to understand that the reason for the grid collapse, the recent grid collapse or cases of grid collapse that we've had, in recent times could be traced or attributed to vandalism, that we have people who are vandalizing, these infrastructures, as it were. So it's not just a case of, apportioning the blame now on Discourse. Don't forget, this issue has been on ground, for quite some time now. So, but can we really put the blame solely on discourse and, say that indeed they are really the ones behind, the incessant, grid collapse in Nigeria? Well, there is more to it, one would say, but of course we are watching, just like you said, to see if something, would be done about this as soon as possible. This one here says, good morning, Omoife. We should learn to accept the fact that once you become a public servant, your life is almost a public, scrutiny. If the late Lagbaja was still alive, why didn't the federal government show proof and dispel the rumors? Why do we have to wait till now to say it was a lie? Proof is everything. Trump is the choice of America. You can hate him or not. He won. We can't say the same for the Nigerian president. That's the difference in the democracy that we are practicing here. If you please stick to the headlines and don't sound like you are taking sides on opinion. Fortune from Life Camp. Well, I'm not taking sides with anyone, but at some point in time, I just have to play the role of, the devil's advocate. I hope you also see things from my own, point of view. Thank you so much. This one here says, good morning. On Trump victory, Americans have the opportunity to pick a much younger president, but they opted for... All right. They opted for a septuagenarian against a much younger person. A much younger person. So all the women in America who have been clamoring for gender equality couldn't vote for a woman to prove their feminism. I think Trump victory was colored motivates and American not wanting half American to lead them. But I wish Trump good luck. Abbas reporting from Dutse. Is that really the case? Well, I think there is already a piece, across the national dailies to perhaps give you or help you get sense of why Harris, didn't win, the election. So it's not necessarily about color or the fact that she is a woman. All right. Samia from Kuje says, good morning and wonderful morning to you, Omoife. Congratulations and welcome to another bright new day. When Dangote was coming up with his refinery, I was one of those who were skeptical about it because I have not seen the price of any of Dangote's products going lower in the market. Please, which of his products are masses friendly? The government should tell us the real plans that they have for the masses, because the monopoly of Dangote is getting out of hand. Don't they care about the masses in the country? They should fear God. Oh, may the Lord God Almighty make it easy for us in this country, in Jesus' name. And we say amen to that. Have a great and wonderful day, Omoife. Samia, thank you so much for that message. And this one says good morning. Good morning to you too. This one here says, good morning, Efe for short. Thank you, James from Suleja. Just a few weeks ago, news of the incapacitation of the Chief of Army Staff broke. The government claimed he was on leave. And then days later, an acting Chief of Army Staff was appointed. And under a few days, he was quickly promoted. And ironically, his passing was announced after the promotion. All Nigerians have always asked for is transparency and truth from its leaders. When the witch cries at night and a baby dies in the morning, we do not need a soothsayer to find out what killed the child. The lack of transparency is also what we are suffering from in the petrol issue. The fact that we have a Minister of Petroleum, while all this back and forth on petrol pricing goes on, shows just how unaccountable our leaders have shown to be. Marketers should even focus on just sourcing products and let Dangote compete with the open market pricing and quit, whining, right? And then this one said, he went for that to say that each day new excuses as regards the incessant grid collapses. Now the minister is blaming discourse for not, off-taking energy. Like seriously, after admitting infrastructural damages and the need for upgrades and also vandalism, the bad workman will always blame everything else but himself. James from Suleja there, thank you so much for that message. Now let's quickly take the voice notes that we have here. All right. All right, at this juncture, I'm just going to put this particular line off so we can take the voice note. So if you're trying to call and not, able to get across, do not panic. Maintain your steeze and composure, because I just put the line off. So let's take this voice note.
Good morning, President.
thought I put the phone on the line on flight mode already. All right, let's take a listen to this one.
And Fulani from National Assembly quarters. Please, I want to use this I want to use this medium to appreciate the Garki police. Truly, yesterday, these people didn't try very, very well. Yesterday in Apple Bridge, a car hit one guy, and the guy died. Truly, they are the one that took the cops to National Hospital. So, and one of them used his own personal car. To take the cops to a National Hospital. And the guy, truly, his phone, he have phone, but the phone have no SIM. One yellow guy, he has long beard like this. His beard is long. So please, anybody that don't see his brother, they can go to police station in Garki to get more information, or they should go to a National Hospital. That's why they took the cops. And the one that even carry some of the police to the National Hospital, we leave the National Hospital around let's say after 1 to 2 a.m. So they can go there and confirm, please, because to get his arrest maybe it would be very difficult. So far, the guy have no any identification his body. So please, they can go there to get more information. And truly, I say kudos to the police. Online, they do a well done job that yesterday. So anybody that if you don't see your brother as yesterday, so you can go there. Thank you so much.
Dan Fulani there. Thank you so much for that voice note.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Eagles FM. Good morning, Moifi. Dan from Kurudu. Honestly, I want to congratulate the President-elect Donald Trump of America. I think he's a good man and he's a disciplinarian, and the world has a lot to learn from him. He said he wants to make America great again. He's a man that kept his word, and I believe other African leaders will learn from it. You see, the ruling party in America, they preach about freedoms. They preach about women having right to their body to do whatever they want to do with it. Well, it is their human right, but sometimes there are some rights that affect the true nature of God, and God is not even happy with them. And may the source of General Abaja rest in peace. We condole with the family, we condole with the military. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you.
Niger State. My condolences to the family of the Chief of Army Staff, Niger State. My condolences to the family of the Chief of Army Staff, that rest in peace. In fact, the President was decorating the acting Chief of Staff. I know something is going on, but that's how God wanted it to be. So rest in peace. I want to good news to the FCT policemen that kill armed robbers and arrest them. This is what we want to be hearing. I don't want to be hearing that the armed robbers or bandits kill police or kill soldiers. Good news to them. Thank you very much. God bless Nigeria and God FM. Bye.
Well, you didn't even mention your name, but do what to do that, of course, next time, all right? Because it's very important for us to know your name and where you are contributing from, right?
Good morning, Omoefe. My name is Alasi, sending this voice note from Garki. I greet my man, Triple D from Waru, that always give assurance that we will get it right one day. You know, by watching the US election, I say, wow, see how the vote are being cast, and see how the world are watching how they are casting their vote. But our own, they say the cyber will work, the cyber couldn't work, you know, all these things. You know, we will get there one day, as my friend Triple D from Waru always say. Suleiman, I greet you. I want to talk about the insecurity. I want my heart go to the family of Tawhid Labaja. Honestly, that was a hero has fallen. I watched a video that he was talking to his men. He said he has his own number. Who if they should get, they should get connected to him direct. I said, that is a great leader that wanted to fill the post of the rank and file. Bandit abduct over 100 in Sokoto, and some papers say over 50. So these are the insecurity we are talking. And the same thing happened again in Niger State. Bandits are still cashing out. Please, we are urging the security. They can go by air, use air force, and on the ground to deal with this criminal. They are no more than the Nigerian army. Please, something needs to be done about this insecurity. I'm not happy this morning. Nagode.
Okay.
Good morning, Efe. This is Alami from Apple Legislative Quarters. I greet you. Let me just bring to your attention. Your very first caller today is the unstable iPod member, Okwe, that was banned from calling the station. Unfortunately, he played the first one on you. You know that he didn't tell he was pretending as if he wasn't hearing you when you were asking of his name. The only thing I will appeal to regulator management is to look for a way when you ban people from calling your platform. Look for a way to permanently excommunicate them. You know, so the unstable ones amongst us, you know, who do not have respect for themselves, you know, will not continue to constitute nuisance, you know, to the listeners. You could see that at any moment he just cannot, stop proving you right. There's an iPod member, and then his rhetoric is always confirmation.
Alamin, it's okay for you to have made this observation. I think someone also wrote, sent a message earlier stating that that was Okwi, but he used a different name. I think you can actually make your observations known without being petty, all right, for the lack of better word, no pun intended, but you don't have to be petty. Tagging him an IPOB member, do you have the facts to prove that he's indeed an IPOB member? Come on, we can actually do better, all right? Thank you very much.
Good morning. My name is Anaboblo Funapo. I wonder why we cannot be honest in this country. You are not a medical doctor. I am not a medical doctor. So how can I deny that the chief of staff died before that yesterday? So the presidency announced, the president himself announced the death. So if you are coming on the A to discuss things like that, please be very careful, because if they ask you to prove, can you prove where the man died before this scene? Do you have medical report? Have you contacted the family? There are some things that are not going to come to the aid and say, and just talk like that. And this is just an advice, because that man too has family. The family will be feeling fine now. May so rest in peace. Talking about the first caller, let me tell you something. You have to be very careful here. I let me advise you. The first caller was the person that you banned him on this scene. He refused to mention his name. That is okay. And you see, anytime he calls, you see trouble. There will be heat here. Please try to recognize his voice. Try it as much as anybody that's calling should tell you his or her name. He may decide to hide, but recognize his voice. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Edward. Right. Well, thank you so much for all of the observations and concerns that you guys have raised this morning with regards to Okwi. Indeed, he was the first caller, and he tried to, chew on his name, but I had to ask repeatedly, please come again with your name. And then he mentioned a name. According to him, he actually mentioned Desire, if I'm not mistaken. So I probably fell for it. But regardless, I'm very sure he's listening. And if you are listening, I think there is no point making a fool of yourself any further, because it makes no sense. But best believe that would actually, come up with more decisive strategies to kind of like track you, to really know who you are. And I'm very sure that the right thing will be done, with regards to this. It's okay for you to make your observations, but like I said, Alamin, you don't have if you've just sent a message that you have facts to prove he's an IPOB member, and if he keeps calling, I'll forward a petition to the appropriate security agencies, an IPOB member. Please, if you have the facts or the proof, please share them with us. Would really be glad, to analyze or to assess some of the proofs that you have to show that he's an IPOB member. Thank you all so much. Well, for those who called in this morning to share their thoughts via phone calls or, WhatsApp voice notes or messages, thank you so much for being part of, the Pages segment. You all actually make the Pages, what it is today. Views and counter views. It's really, really interesting, to hear from you every weekday on this platform. Thank you so much. And I'd like to state very clearly that the views expressed, by the contributors were not influenced by Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. I'll be back at 9 a.m. this morning on Eagles Outlook, of course, to discuss, the outcome of U.S. elections and lessons for Nigeria. And do well, of course, to share your thoughts at that time. And just to let you know as well that Vicky Vic is somewhere, gearing up or getting ready to bring you up to speed with the latest happenings in the world of sports. Good morning to you.